There are some films critics love, but audiences hate, and other films that critics hate and audiences love. But on those rare occasions where everyone seems to be happy, sometimes you get a few people who strongly disagree. Like me with Deadpool.
This guy's got the right idea. He wore the brown pants.
Get it, guys? He's saying if he shit himself you wouldn't see it. I'm definitely not bitter at all that everyone loves this film except me. I actually hate it when that happens. I just don't find it funny and it annoys me that everyone else does. I feel like I'm missing out. So today I'm going to be looking at the times where everyone seems to love a film, except for a few lone dissenters. I'm going to be looking at 1-star reviews of beloved films. And starting off, we have The Godfather. This was one of the films I watched when I was first getting into films seriously. I think I was still in high school when I watched it, and I was at that cringe stage where you start to become a film snob, before you finally can move past that. I'm sure some of you all know what I'm talking about. When you watch enough films, you sort of ascend past that, to where you can enjoy some trash again. Now while critics and audiences love The Godfather, clearly someone doesn't. 1 star. Worst film ever created in the history of anything. This film is the worst film in existence. I absolutely hate it. It does not deserve the 9.2 out of 10 on IMDb. What it actually deserves is a minus 9.2 out of 10, because it's that bad. For each thing the film does wrong, I will give an example of a film that does everything perfectly. The acting is horrible. A good alternative is Tommy Wiseau's film The Room. Now this guy's gotta be trolling now. The special effects are horrible. A good alternative is the film Birdemic. The script is horrible and a good alternative is The Room with Tommy Wiseau. An example of this is...
I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi Mark.
Now that's gotta be a joke review, surely. I mean, come on. I can understand if you thought the film was boring or too long. But the acting? Nah, he has to be trolling. I mean, the acting is one of the best parts. Look at the restaurant scene, or Vito Corleone finding out about his son's death. Also, he said the special effects are horrible. What special effects are even in the film? I can only think of the blood when people are shot, and all that looks quite good compared to today, where a lot of films use CGI, and a lot of the time it just looks wrong. Maybe he means the horse's head? I don't know what he's talking about, but The Godfather certainly isn't the worst film in existence. Right, next up let's take a look at one of my favourite films. The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. 1 star, crap. Disappointingly poor film. Switched it off after 30 minutes. To be fair, I can understand this one. Not every film is for everyone, and I can see why some people would find it boring, especially if you're not into fantasy, even though it pains me to say it, as The Lord of the Rings are my top 3 films. Right, next review. 1 star. Fakey nonsense. What does that even mean? This is excruciatingly painful to watch, with so much fakery and lack of quality. Cheap goofing around. You can even tell the actors are acting with the way they talk. I need to chill out. I don't even really know what this one means. I mean, were they expecting them to cast a real Balrog or something? Right, next review. 1 star. Oh my god, could this film be any more boring? We've got Chandler Bing in the house. This would have to be the most painfully boring film I've ever seen, until I saw the second and third ones. Dull, slow, boring, miserable, lifeless with no personality to speak of. By no means are these films up to the standard of storytelling, writing, effects, and dazzlement of the Star Wars saga. Oh, he's a Star Wars fan, I should have known. Even The Phantom Menace was better than these films. They walk across a film, then a mountain, then across a field, then across a mountain, etc, etc, etc. So dull, I would rather watch my hair grow for 9 hours than sit through this boring twaddle ever again.
Absolute twaddle.
Well-made adaptions of an overrated book, but they're still bad on their own and boring films. Stick to Star Wars, the real pop culture phenomenon. Ugh, Star Wars is not better than Lord of the Rings. I won't have anyone tell me that. I mean, I do like Star Wars. I did review all the films. Just plug in my other videos there. But I'm kinda done with Star Wars now. I watched up to episode 7 when they came out, and I recently watched the rest of them to review for the channel, and I didn't like a single one of the Disney Star Wars ones. And yes, before you say it, that even includes Rogue One. I guess that's another film that everyone likes that I don't. I mean, I love the originals and the prequels, and yes, I'm a zoomer in case you couldn't tell. But getting through those 5 Disney films was such a slog, and I think I'm done with Star Wars at this point. Probably for good this time. Actually, let's check Star Wars Episode 4. That film's beloved by audiences and critics. 1 star. Looked like it was filmed in the 70s. Alright, this must be a joke review then. I really enjoyed The Phantom Menace. Yep, it's definitely a joke review, with its amazing story and characters. So I was really excited when I found out George Lucas had made a new Star Wars film. Episode 4, A New Hope. I don't know why he decided to make Episode 4 next. Maybe he'll make 2 and 3 later. Although I think it's a bit weird to do it like that. Anyway, what do I think of A New Hope? Compared to The Phantom Menace, it's awful. The CGI spaceships look rubbish, like they're made of plastic. The special effects are really bad, and the whole thing looks like it was filmed in the 70s or something. The plot is awful, and doesn't make any sense, and is totally contradictory and weird. What happens? Spoilers. Darth Maul is back, which I'm really pleased about. Wait, what? Because he was my favourite character from the first film, and I was really upset when he got killed nearly at the end of the film. Apparently he didn't die, but was rescued and put back together by the Empire, and now has to wear a suit and a helmet, and he can't do gymnastic fights anymore. He is trying to capture princesses for a project called the Rebel Alliance that he's doing, although it's not very well explained at all. What is this guy talking about? Anakin, brackets Annie, has grown up now. He's about 35 and has moved back to Tatooine for some reason to live with his cousins on a farm, although he doesn't really like it there at all. I like the actor Mark Hamill, who they got to play Anakin because he has the same hair. C-3PO and R2-D2 come to see Anakin, but he doesn't recognise them, and they don't even remember him. Then they all go to see Obi-Wan Kenobi, who doesn't seem to know them either, although he might just be pretending. I didn't like the actor they got to play Obi-Wan. He doesn't look anything like Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor never had a beard for a start. Also, his Scottish accent is rubbish. But he does a very good job of showing Obi-Wan as a really horrible person, who is really only out to hurt people and cause trouble. After this, there is this complicated plot, where Anakin has his cousins killed, while he is out of the area, and then him and Obi-Wan destroy the evidence, by killing all the witnesses and burning them. I found this scene quite distressing. Because they're at a loose end, they go to a pub, to decide the next move, and Obi-Wan uses a Jedi mind trick to get Anakin into a fight, which means he gets to use his lightsaber. Then they meet Ham, and his girlfriend Chewie. I'm not sure what she's doing in this film, as she doesn't really do or say much. Ham tells them that they're doing a race in the Millennium Falcon, and Anakin and Obi-Wan say they will help them. Then Ham accidentally shoots the bar owner, while he's fiddling with his gun, and so they have to make a run for it. While they're in space, Obi-Wan plays a trick on them, by telling them to fly towards a moon, which is really Darth Maul's spaceship. Their ship gets captured and Obi-Wan runs off. Ham and Anakin decide to have some fun and kill a couple of soldiers, and steal their uniforms. Then they go on a rampage killing lots of people, damaging sensitive equipment and even kidnapping a princess from her bedroom. This would actually be a good idea for a comedy film, to be honest. They then escape, but Obi-Wan has to fight Darth Maul. But just as Darth Maul is about to kill him, he uses a Jedi teleport trick, and he teleports himself into the cupboard in the Millennium Falcon. Anakin thinks he has been killed, and is really upset, but Obi-Wan plays along to trick Anakin, and hides from him from the rest of the film. He even sneaks aboard Anakin's spaceship later and pretends to be a disembodied voice. Darth Maul chases them, but he can't keep up because his ship isn't very aerodynamic. But Anakin decides that the best thing to do is to destroy the spaceship by firing an explosive pokeball in the exhaust. This felt very much like George Lucas was ripping off Independence Day, and at this point I had lost interest in the film and switched it off. I was very disappointed and would give it half a star if Amazon allowed it. I mean, seriously George, how on earth did you mess up the sequel to Phantom Menace? Also, I think because of the rubbish story and problems with the plot, that it's not really for kids. Okay, that was actually quite funny. So anyway, that's enough for today. Let me know in the comments a popular film that you don't like. And also, let me know if you want me to do another video like this, as this was actually quite fun. I'm Firelink Frontier, and if you'd like to support the channel, please like, subscribe and become a member. Thanks for watching everyone.